Good day to all. We can continue with the remaining portions of the same topic, that is burns. So next we can come into the pathophysiology of burns. The local responses includes it causing direct injury to the skin and systemic responses like hemodynamic changes, fluid shift, cardiovascular responses, renal responses, pulmonary responses, GI changes, altered skin integrity and immunosuppression. As we know, these are the mainly causes. Mainly the skin damage occurs and systemic responses occurs like there is alterations in the normal hemodynamic process and fluid shift occurs. So we have to administer fluid. Then some alterations in the cardiovascular system as well as in the renal system and pulmonary, GI as well as skin integrity become impaired and the child goes to immunosuppression. These are the major changes. General pathophysiology included this much. So let's move on to what are the direct injury, how it happens. Direct injury to the cells, because injury to the cells and how the water and fluid imbalance, what about the electrolyte imbalances occurs. We can move on to that. That is direct injury to the skin. Injury to the cells which causes release of the chemical mediators. Evaporative loss of water is enhanced. Here the sodium potassium pump become fails and cellular edema develops which causes proteolysis, edema and decreased vascular blood supply leads to cell death and necrosis. After effect on the skin there is necrosed cells. Okay, that is the direct injury to the skin just after burns. Injury to the cells, release of chemical mediators, evaporative loss of water is enhanced, sodium potassium pump become failed and proteolysis and edema develops and vascular blood supply decreased leads to necrosis. Okay, next what happens, that is the fluid shift. How the fluid shift happens. Release of the vasoactive substances. Capillary permeability increases and plasma protein is lost. As we know about the osmosis process, it's the spontaneous movement of solvent molecules through a partially permeable membrane. We already learned osmosis diffusion from our basic classes, right? So osmosis is spontaneous movement of solvent from through a partially permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane, right? In the region of higher solute concentration in the direction tends to equalize the solute concentration on the two sides. So what here happens, vasoactive substances releasing, capillary permeability increases and the plasma protein is lost, which causing creation of osmotic gradient and intravascular fluid volume depletion, which leads to shunting blood to the brain and the heart. Creation of an osmotic gradient and causing intravascular fluid volume become reduced. Intravascular fluid become, already we noted that there is edema development is there. So shunting blood to the brain and heart happens in the fluid shift. And next what happens in the cardiovascular. So as we told that there is shunting of blood in the brain and heart because of this fluid shift. And in cardiovascular responses, the fluid shift causing cardiovascular output become decreases and the hypovolemic shock and vasoconstriction. Heart rate become increased, BP decreased. In burns patients, BP become always decreased. Hypotension. As compensatory mechanism, ischemia and necrosis at the periphery, increased blood supply to the vital organs. In the fluid shift, we term that point, increased blood supply to the vital organs like heart and brain. Here the same. Fluid shift, COP decreases, hypovolemic shock develops, vasoconstriction, heart rate increases, BP decreases, compensatory mechanism, ischemia and necrosis at the periphery, increased blood supply to the vital organs. Okay. Then moving on to the blood, that is hematologic response. HP released from the heart from heat damaged erythrocytes. Here what? The RBCs become damaged by the burn. From there HB is released causing hemolysis. hemoglobinuria and anemia happens. Hemoglobin is lost to the urine and anemia is develops. Vascular blood volume depletion leads to hypotension, polycythemia and increased blood viscosity. Okay, it happens in the hematologic condition. Anemia and hemoglobinuria. Vascular blood volume depletion leads to BP. How the BP is reduced? Hypertension. Polycythemia is there. Increased blood viscosity. These are the major features in hematologic system. Moving on to the kidney. Renal response. What happens there? Decreased renal blood flow due to decreased cardiac output. Acute tubular necrosis. Myoglobin HB occluded in the renal tubule. HB is excreted out through the urine. So it occluded in the renal tubules causing renal failure. That is the last stage. What is myoglobin? It's an iron and oxygen binding protein which found in the muscle tissues of the vertebrates. Okay, myoglobin, iron and oxygen binding protein. And in acute tubular necrosis that happens in when the death of the tubular epithelial cells causing from the renal tubules of the kidneys. Death of the tubular epithelial cells that happens in the acute tubular necrosis. Acute tubular necrosis is a medical condition causing the death of the tubular epithelial cells. Here from the renal tubules of the kidneys. Okay. So the final stage in the renal response is renal failure. Okay. Next, moving on to the pulmonary response. What happens to the respiratory system? Damage to the respiratory mucosa because of these burns. Pulmonary congestion may lead to development of pneumonia. Okay. Then the gastrointestinal system, decreased blood supply causing ischemic changes, Curling's ulcers. Have you heard of that? Different types of ulcers and bleeding can be developed. Curling ulcer is a peptic ulcer, type of acute peptic ulcer of the duodenum, right? Okay, resulting as a complication from severe burns or because of the reduced plasma volume. Plasma volume, blood viscosity increases and plasma volume here decreasing to ischemia and cell necrosis. Even if in the gastric mucosa there is cell necrosis happens which leads to Curling's ulcer and bleeding can be develops. This happens in the GI system. Then nervous system stimulation, peristalsis decreases, nausea, vomiting and abdominal distension, paralytic ileus may be developed in some cases. Okay, that also happens in the gastrointestinal system. Okay, then what about the skin integrity? Come into the skin integrity. Injury to the skin externally, there is skin, nerve endings, sweat glands and hair follicles may be involved if it is at second degree or third degree. And skin barrier function is lost. Bacterial entry causing evaporative water loss increases, impaired temperature regulation, nerve endings exposed, pain and discomfort develop. And if damage to the nerve endings, impairment to the touch, pressure and pain. Damage if damage to the nerve endings is there is a chance for loss of sensation. Okay, that happens in the skin integrity. Then come into the immunosuppression, right? Immunosuppression, the last point, it causing depression of the immune system function, depress the lymphocyte activity, decrease the immunoglobulin, alteration in the neutrophil and macrophage, and disruption of the primary barrier causing increased risk of infection and sepsis. Why? A child with the burns is immunosuppressed because of the depression of the immune system function, depressed lymphocyte activity, lymphocyte become reduced, there is the natural barriers, decrease the immunoglobulin level, alteration in the neutrophil and macrophages, cause the disruption of the primary barrier which leads to increased risk of infection and sepsis. So these are the major changes happens after a burn occurs, severe burn occurs. Then come into the what are the signs and symptoms of the just